Alto strolled down the road. He was making haste as the sun was setting. This morning, he had been slow to rise and late onto the road. Darkness enveloped him as the last rays faded away. Only the light of the moon gave guidance to his feet. As he pressed along, slow and careful, he watched each step on the black road he followed. He kept close to the edge of the road, lined by bushes. Their branches reached out and snagged his pants. He gave it a pull and ripped his trousers, and a small trickle of blood flowed forth. It dripped onto the ground unseen by Alto. He kept going on into the night. Unseen behind him, a creature had landed on the ground. It lapped up the blood from the dirt and eyed the bard with hungry eyes. It slowly advanced at the unwary man, eager to enjoy a meal. Welcome back to Mythical Phylogeny Adventures. I'm your guide, Jason. Today, we look at a monster known as the Striga. Let's take a look at this feathered subspecies of vampire and see if we can avoid such a monster. The Striga is a Slavic demon. They are said to be born human, but are marked by 3 traits. They have 2 sets of teeth, often born with them already, 2 hearts, and 2 souls. Somewhat easy to notice, some claim they lack armpit hair, but this is inconsistent it seems. They are born as girls in a village, but are marked by a mean temperament and a cruel nature. They are doomed to suffer and die young. When they die, 1 heart will cease to beat, and 1 soul will leave the body to pass to the other side. But that is when the girl becomes a true Striga. She'll rise again as a demon. They are known to have a blue-gray skin tone, and will start feeding on animal blood, but eventually progress towards human blood, and then organs. As she feeds, she'll shed her human form. The Striga will begin to look more like an owl, with long claws and feathered wings. She'll sleep in either an abandoned building or a crypt. She doesn't always sleep though. Sometimes she has been known to remain awake and complete chores during the day, so long as she remains in the dark. Like most breeds of vampires, she cannot withstand the sunlight, or it will turn her to dust. There is a rare male form called a strigon, but very rare. Now, let's start with her human form. What is with the 2 sets of teeth? Well, everyone is born with 2 sets of teeth, your adult and baby teeth. Even as a child, your adult teeth are present. So for our child form of the Striga has the adult human teeth exposed. It'll leave her mouth very crowded and leads to a host of health problems. Malnutrition, exposed roots of teeth, leading to decay, bleeding, and so on. I'm sure your local dentist has given you a full lecture and don't need me to encourage your oral health, right? After that, we have 2 hearts. Humans only have 1 heart, 4 chambers, 2 atriums where the blood enters, and 2 ventricles which sends it away, left and right, so we divide them. Easy. A right heart with the atrium bringing blood in from the 2 vena cavas, then it goes to the lungs. The left heart connects to the pulmonary veins, and then has the aorta take the blood away. Usually, the full heart will contract in a pattern. The 2 atrium at once, then the 2 ventricles. To divide them up, we'll need to increase the muscle, particularly on the left side. Overall, this sounds pretty simple, but what if it isn't this? Remember, 1 heart keeps beating after death. I think the answer lays in the next part. Now, we've got the 2 soul issues. Sadly, I don't have a lot of anatomical data on souls. That is one school of magic that I have never looked into. But from my limited knowledge, it would seem that originally, a human soul is in control of the body, but a demon soul rests within. It influences the soul, the child, but can't control, at least until the child dies. Upon death, the human soul departs, free at last, its heart ceases to beat. The demon soul takes over, and it keeps one heart going. One option, I think, is that the demon had its own heart. That would mean two fully formed hearts, rather than simply dividing the heart in two. To fit both hearts fully in the chest, we'll need room. Normally, the heart sits slightly to the left. The left lung is smaller than the right, so we'll need to reduce the right lung to fit the extra heart. Most likely, our demon heart will be on the right side and much smaller until after death. This has the potential to create constant shortness of breath and difficulty with expanding the lungs fully. This means a high risk of pneumonia and other respiratory problems. But with two hearts, there will be issues for both of them working. To fit them both in, we'll need to reduce size. This means less blood moves with each heartbeat. Even with two hearts working, you'll get less blood flow and a lower blood pressure, thus a high risk of fainting. Between the lung volume and teeth issues, there are plenty of reasons that the Striga will die young. Once that happens, its form changes. First, she'll feed on the blood of animals, so why an owl-like form? Could it be from the owl blood that she gets formed? I don't think so. Owls fly and are difficult to catch. But there is another reason. The demon heart causes the form change, a metamorphosis at death. Owls are heavily specialized. They have large eyes to take in more light, but can't move. The feathers around their face focus sounds to the ears. They are ideal for hunting in the dark. The feathers are designed to reduce the sound made with flight. This is convergent evolution. A perfect design for a specific job, hunting at night. To get claws, we can harden the nails from the hands, increase the keratin content, or replace it with a stronger compound. Thickening it up will aid as well, but the Striga has wings. To attach them, we'll need to duplicate the muscles. That will take up a lot of room. Muscles need either length, thickness, or width to determine strength, and we are losing two of those, so we can achieve the same strength by moving the muscle attachments further from the joints, particularly for the wings. Now, how big are the wings? The Striga was once a human woman, usually a young girl. The average human woman is about 5 foot 4 inches and weighs about 130 pounds. Since the Striga child dies young, a 100-pound body is very likely, if not even lighter, especially if malnourished. So a 10-foot wingspan should suffice, if not a little smaller. Depends on how large the Striga was when she dies. If a young child, a wingspan could be as small as 7 feet. Generally, 2 to 3 times the size of height will work for something as small with a young child. It is a rough estimate, but should work here. We've got one more issue. Why does it turn to dust in the sun's light? Yes, the Striga is a demon. Is that why? Perhaps, and the most likely one. Light is often said to be filled with divine energy, thus their weakness. There's one final thing to figure out. Why is a young girl being born with the destiny of becoming a Striga? I haven't found anything which says what caused it, but I suspect that the pregnant mother needs to have an interaction with a demon of some sort to take up its essence to bestow to the child, but that is conjecture. Overall, it sounds like a demonic parasite of sorts. The Striga begins as a human girl. It is her misfortune to be born destined to become a Striga. The best way to defeat one is to do it before she rises. Upon death, decapitate the body, sever the limbs, or go full force and burn it. The Striga can't rise up if it is dead already. But, of course, sometimes that doesn't happen. Well, then what? The Striga doesn't always just attack people at random. Those who have wronged her are her favorite targets. But she does tend to avoid people who are nice to her. So, if you meet a young girl with 2 sets of teeth, 2 hearts, and 2 souls, be nice to her. After that, we need to defeat her. Long-range weapons first. A large net can bind her and prevent her from flying. After that, use a bow and arrow to bring her down. She can't attack at long range, and will need to swoop down to attack you. Use a spear to outdo her reach. A shield will stop her claws. As for armor, gambeson and plate work perfect. Anything tough enough to keep her claws at bay. Chainmail is a little questionable. Her claws might get between the links, but she won't be able to make deep cuts through it. But she can go for your throat. If her claws can get you there, you'll be in danger. A gorget, a metal throat guard, will help though. Her mobility will be limited in buildings. Her wings will struggle to give her flight in a hall. Inside, you can use a sword or an axe to remove her limbs. Keep pressing the advantage. If you can't, keep her busy until sunrise. That will be a tall order. On the magic front, holy should be your first choice. With enough power, you can turn her to dust in an instant. If not, ice magic can be used to entrap and bind her. Fire is also an option. Poison is a weak option. Could you lace your blood with holy magic? That could be fun to test. I wonder if I can convince my party to try this. Due to the owl-like form, her flight will be silent and hard to see in the dark of night. She has a tendency to attack people on the road by lurking in bushes. She'll strike and lift you up before dropping you to your death. Flight magic can counter this. A stone flesh potion can reduce the harm of her claws. It also stops her from drinking your blood. There is one way to kill her as well. If a living person is able to spend the night within the Striga's original grave, then she'll die permanently. So, if you know who the Striga is, you need to find her grave, get inside of it during the day, or early in the evening after she has left, and then stay put. You'll need a lot of prep work, but it is an option. As to why this kills her, for most vampires, the grave holds a meaning, and it is sacred to them. By having a living person remain in their grave, it severs its connection and frees its soul to move on. A symbolic death of sorts. Overall, the Striga can be dangerous, and deserves a 4 of 10 for difficulty. Magically, she is weaker than other vampires, but best in stealth attacks. Its claws can be dangerous. If not prepared, they are mobile, but they have multiple weaknesses, which you'll need to exploit. Though I am sure that you are in a prepared party, that you can defeat her with little difficulty. When you defeat the Striga, you'll get dust. Vampire dust. I've heard of multiple potions using them, usually ones of more sinister nature, such as curses, but also invisibility. But I'm positive that the locals will pay you well for removing the Striga. This is where the best rewards will come from. Just be careful. I've learned of one Striga protected by an arrogant noble, because it was once his daughter, and sought someone to cure her. Dangerous to try, but killing her would bring down the noble's anger, and he won't get paid and might land a bounty. Your choice. Now, a Striga is often out to punish those that harmed her in life, so in theory, you could try and coax it into fighting alongside you to achieve revenge against a common foe. So, is it worth it? No. Not at all. These things will just turn on you most likely. Unless you knew the Striga in life, then you could try it, but it is dangerous at the best of times. But you could keep one prisoner in a cage that you feed your enemies to, at least until it escapes, slaughters you, and then flees into the night to continue murdering. So no, kill it and be done. Collect a reward from the locals and move on. Alto pressed on. His ears picked up a sound of something on the ground. He looked back, but didn't see anything in the dark. Fear urged him onward, which was good. The Striga swooped down, Her claws raked his loot, but better to lose a string than his life. Alto ran as fast as his legs would carry him. He found a small stone building, a crypt. Normally, he would never come to such a place, but his judgment was gone thanks to fear. He rushed inside as the Striga let out a screech that left him soiled. He was blind in the dark. With his hands outstretched, he wandered forward until he felt something like wood, a chest, a big one. With no idea what to do, he crawled into the chest, not knowing that it was a coffin. It smelled inside, but he heard the creature outside. He lay there in terror for hours, trapped. The Striga looked about, but couldn't find the bard. He could hear her. She stayed up all night, but as the sun rose, she headed for her grave. The coffin lid popped open, and Alto screamed. It brought him only a second to spring forth and run for the door. First light gave detail to the room, and the man followed it, out into the open air, but right behind him was the Striga. She took flight, but it was too late. The sun was rising, and with it, her doom. Her feathered form turned to dust, unseen by the terrified bard. Alto kept running, clear to the next village. The Striga is a dangerous take on the vampire, one that you can handle with preparation, though sadly, those who become the Striga are doomed from birth. Best to prevent them from rising up at the start. Thank you for watching, adventurers. Next week, we'll see how we measure up to giants. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.